Well, hello, everybody. This is Miriam Stallsworth. I am so glad to be here today. And we are all in recovery, aren't we, from Yom Kippur? Now, I know you are meeting for all different, sometimes different times, some of you. And so, of course, that's according to your own beliefs in that. But what a wonderful, wonderful time to be together. But it's also a very taxing time, isn't it? Oh my. I know for us, we have a community. And so from the time of Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur yesterday, and now we are decorating our sukkah. But ladies, oh much, you have so much to do. How are you doing it all? And so that's if we're going to have shalom in the home, how do we go through these holy days in these times and still be able to go, ah, I did it and I didn't go berserk. I didn't go crazy. So, some of you fast, some of you feel that you don't need to fast or can't fast. So, and some of you have congregations, some of you watch online. And so we come from all different avenues, don't we? But the most important thing, did you get and set that time aside? You know, those 10 days of awe are so important because I talk to people who have gotten so sick and had stomach issues primarily because it's all in your gut because of bitterness and about non forgiving and about holding grudges. Oh my, I noticed in our slides when we did it at our congregation, so much was about the tongue. So deadly. Or what is your doing? So today I want to ask you, how is your doing? Not your believing, I just believe in this, or I think this right, but how are you doing? How are you acting out? And in this year, for 5784, what a new opportunity we have. It's not like a New Year's resolution like the regular Gregorian calendar. But in a way, it was a self reflecting. How am I doing? What could I do better? So, when I have all this time, and some of you might not have all this time, I look at different readings. And so this year I got this book. It's called Yom Kippur Readings. And I ordered it offline. And it is so, so good in different readings. And what I wanted to start out with is what I started out in our congregation on Erev Yom Kippur. And it was an incredible, incredible story. And all these are like little they're they're almost like midrash, but they're trying to tell you the word midrash mean explanation of something, almost like Aesop's fables. Doesn't have to be true, but it is telling a truth, an example, a moral value. So, in the story that I'm going to tell you, there was a man and he decided it was time for him to retire. He was a carpenter. And so he said, "Wow, I'm just really getting tired. I think I'm just gonna pack up my tools." And so his boss came to him, and his boss said, "Please, will you do this one more house? I really need you to do this. Please, David, will you do this for me?" And so he said, "Okay, I will do it." But in this, he did shoddy workmanship. He didn't use the best material. He did shoddy work. Have you ever had a carpenter come in or something and do terrible shoddy work? And everything he did, he didn't do it like he normally did. his heart wasn't in it, but he thought, not my house, right? And so he was tired. Have you ever been that way where you think, I'm just going to get by. I'm going to get by. I think we've all done that at times, especially if you have small children. Sometimes people call me and say, gosh, I don't have time to do Friday night dinner. Can I just order a pizza? Who am I to say you can't order a pizza on Friday night? So sometimes it's so hard, women, and I know that so much. But to continue on in our story, he builds his house and it's finally done. And it's taken a while. But like I said, the work was very, very inferior. What happened? At the end, his boss comes and said, here are the keys. This is your reward for all the work you did all these years. He said, I'm giving you this house. Oh my gosh. So the house that was done with shoddy workmanship and really not putting, this is the house that the man was given as a gift. And you know what? The boss didn't know anything about it. But isn't that an example to us? If are we looking out for that other person? If it's not mine, so what do I care? That's not the attitude. I think one of the greatest things we learned every year is about selflessness. The word for man is ish. So you're self-ish. So I pray that that story that I told you had some value to it. It is considered a mitzvah, a good deed, or beautifying the commandments when you make something as beautiful as you can. Or it teaches us to plan ahead. For my household, I fast on Yom Kippur. And so I made a big, big pot the day before of chicken soup, a lot of nutrients, everything in it, and it was light. So I planned ahead. I had challah, I had a salad, and I invited people over after we broke fast. And it was so wonderful. But if I had not planned ahead, or if I didn't make any meal, where would I be? So these are things we learn to plan ahead and to make it. How is your table? How was your table for these holy days? Did you put some things and did you have your children help you with like things with apples? And you can carve a little bit of apple in the center, even put your tea lights in there. Or pomegranates can be incredible to decorate with. But now we're getting ready for Sukkot. Oh my, especially if you're young mothers or you have a lot of young children, and then you're packing to go away, some of you for 8 days. That's exhausting also. Have you tried to plan ahead and to not be guilty if you can't do all that? It isn't commanded that there's not all 8 days are non-work days. That is not commanded. And don't let anybody put guilt on you for certain things. Or that you fasted, you stopped eating at 4 o'clock on, for us Sunday. Well, do you really have to go to sundown? Now, maybe if you're a literalist, maybe that's fine. But if I've repented and I've gotten right with my community, it is a personal thing. So a lot of times, so many of us, and this has been such a busy, busy time, ladies. We have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Teruah, another word, the blowing of the shofar. We're getting ready for all these things that we do, a meal at our house, working out with people that we need to do. For our congregation, we had a meal catered for everybody in the community to say thank you, for all the hard work you do. And you could come in to a festive meal. And we had beautiful crowns that were made because our king is so preeminent then. And you can have your children do some of these things in decorations. And we decorated the tables. So each table was so beautiful. And this this year, the Rosh Hashanah, Yom Teruah, was on a Shabbat. So a high Shabbat. The most important thing that I can tell you from all my experience in 40 years is plan ahead. And as you plan ahead, it relieves you of the stress that is so pertinent. All these holidays go boom, 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 right next to each other. And then, okay, you're going to go into Sukkot. Some of you travel, some of you do it in your backyard, some of you do it at a different time. What is the meaning? The meaning behind is that you are a temporary dwelling place. How do you take care of this home? Are you putting shoddy stuff into your body? Are you reacting in ways rather than stopping and thinking about what is the very, very best for you? So this home, this is a container. This is a container. What do you fill in your container with? And hopefully it's been really cleansed out for this time of the year. Have you gone to the point that you've cleansed your soul and not judging what somebody else does? But wow, there's so much to learn, isn't there? But the greatest thing I can think of is for you to plan ahead. What as a wife, sometimes it can get so tiring. There is so much left to you. If you have children who are old enough, have them help you. And probably it's not exactly the way that maybe you would do it so perfectly. But I've learned over the years it's more important that they do it, not how perfect it is. So now we come into this temporary time of joy. It was supposed to be like the marriage feast at the end. Not this temporary full of joy, but it is what it was. It is we are rehearsing for that wedding feast. So have you got your stuff prepared? But you know what? You can clean out the outside. You can clean out the outside and you can wear all this white and you can have your tzitzit done if you wear them, or the men can. You can have tallits. But you know what was it say? First clean the inside of the cup. Because that is all outward, all outward. And it's so important. I hope you feel like a wellspring of water right now, that you have got so full of joy, that you've made it through the holy days, that you've made it through making restitution with whoever you have to. What is better? It's better to absolutely keep these gates closed rather than having to go so many times and saying, I am so sorry. I know I really hurt you. Isn't it better not to have to do that? So this year, I would say, watch these gates and watch these ear gates. So many times people will come to you and telling you about something, but they don't biblically go to the person and say, that is uncalled for. I'm not listening to that. If you're upset with someone, I will go right with you to the person. Let's do things biblically. Let's not have a whole list that once we're clean, we're going to very start the next day and go right back to our old habits. The scapegoat was to take the sins over the cliff. Or when you hopefully did the tashlik, what is that? And you cast your bread upon the waters. And the kings were coronated at lakes and streams and waters. Also water, Torah, living water. Hopefully you have taken those things, those attitudes, those actions that have been unbecoming to the mind of Messiah. So what do we put on today? We put on the mind of Messiah. We sit down and we get ready and say, I'm going to plan ahead. And if you're not going away for Sukkot, that you eat a meal outside, but you realize in all of this, I am temporary. In our slides, it says, who may live and who may die in the next year? Who will be rich? Who will be poor? Who will suffer from sickness? Who will have great testing? It's all up to us. It's all our choices. So today, I feel like rejoicing. I am so glad I made it through all the holidays. I studied. I looked at myself. Miriam, Miriam, are you an example of shedding the light of Messiah to all you meet? How can I do a better job? And how can I have my household be a house of peace? You know, I tell you every time, a home is wherever the wife is. And if you're not married and you're by yourself, your home is with your king. You are, your Messiah is covering you. Right now, I'm in that situation. This year, a year ago in May, my husband passed away after 40 years leading a congregation with myself and going through all these holidays with him. It's not been easy the last two times, but I go on and I follow what my Torah says, that I am to observe these holy days perpetual forever. Now, I have been born Jewish, and I am so blessed. And I was not raised in a home that was strictly Torah. Not at all. I was culturally Jewish. I could make every kind of matzo ball soup and briskets and noodle kugel, and I could do all that. I knew all about the holidays, but I never went and took that deeper step until a lot later. And oh, am I so blessed? But you know, it's same as for you because you have been given the same law. If you are the stranger that has come in, you're probably one of the lost tribes. And the rabbis are looking and searching for all the lost tribes now. Isn't that incredible? The Messiah, I can hear the footsteps of Messiah. I can hear the patter of his feet. I can hear the coming of Messiah. Do not delay. May we be ready. May our house not be one right in here, this container where we have done shoddy work and then we complain, this aches, this whatever, and we haven't taken care of our bodies. So, Almighty King, this year, Almighty King, help us to have shalom in the home. Help us to look to mentors and not be embarrassed, not to make comparisons. And may we do the very, very, very best work. I am so thrilled to be able to be a woman of vintage, that I can come to you and say, I've gone through a lot and I can show you what to do and what not to do. And I pray that you are so blessed, and don't be hard on yourself. The worst thing you can do is compare yourself to another person, another household, somebody else's husband, someone else's house, what somebody else does. Take, 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 take. Just looking at yourself. Make that house beautiful. I praise you. I praise you. I praise you, O Lord, King of the universe, to bring us through the season, the Shekiano blessing, Thank you that I've been alive for this season and that I can go on with strength. And I pray, remember, ladies, I am always here for you. MiriamStallsworth@gmail.com. Or if you want to reach me by text, I can talk to you. I am so blessed to be able to share these things that I have learned. And hopefully, we are not just fully exhausted. Ladies, may you be blessed with vigor and may you be a prayer warrior. Watch the gates, watch the ear gates, watch what comes out and look what you look at in your eyes. You can be blessed abundantly. We have a choice, blessing or cursing. And the word of God is so clear. It's not too hard for us. So may you be blessed this week as you get ready and every week. I hope to see you next month, God willing. The Shabbat is holy. We've had a lot of holy days, haven't we? May you be blessed, dear friends. I am here for you always. So shalom, shalom. Thank you.